Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be presenting on physics. On physics, today we'll be talking about mechanics. On mechanics, we'll be talking about forces in equilibrium. On forces in equilibrium, we'll be discussing a branch called statics. On this, ladies and gentlemen, what is mechanics? Mechanics deals with motion, forces, and energy of objects. Whereas equilibrium is the condition under which the body remains at rest or in a uniform motion. However, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be looking at this to solve our problem. In order to solve our problem, the problem is a lamp of weighing 600 Newton is supported by two cables, making angle 30 degrees and 60 degrees with the horizontal. Find the tensions in the cables. We don't know. So, means that we'll be looking for tension 1, tension 2. Which is T1, T2, and we'll be using both the horizontal and vertical equilibrium to solve in combination with trigonometry using our trigonometry values sine and cos. So how solution? On our solution, we say let delta U will be equal to 600 Newton and T1 will be equal to tension at 30 degrees, and T2 therefore will be equal to tension at 60 degrees. So we say horizontal equilibrium. On the horizontal equilibrium, we will be using one of the trigonometry ratios called cos to solve on the horizontal equilibrium. So however, we say T1 or the tension 1 will be equal to how many degrees? 30 degrees. But remember, we'll be using cos value to solve. So we say T1 cos 30 degrees will be equal to T2. The same cos, how many degrees? 60 degrees. So T1 cos 30 degrees and T2 cos 60 degrees. On this note, we say T1. Remember, we have cos 30, and cos 30 will be equal to 0.866. Will be equal to T2. Cos 60 degrees will be equal to 0.5. So we multiply T1 by the number or the value in the parenthesis. So remember, we say T1 times 0.866. The number will come first before the letter. We say 0.866. T1 will be equal to T2 times this, the same thing apply here is 0.5 T2. On this note, making T1 to be the subject in order to solve our problem. In making T1 to be the subject, any number that is placed near T1 means that we divide both sides by that particular number. What is that number? That number is 0.866. So we divide both sides by 0.866 and 0.866. Here how much they got cancel. So T1 will be equal to, when we divide this by this, automatically we have 0.577. What we have here, T2. So remember, we don't have T2 yet. So it means that we got to find T2 in order to multiply T2 number or value by T1 number to get our exact value for T1. So however, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be using the vertical equilibrium. Under the vertical equilibrium to solve, we'll be using another trigonometry ratio called sine. So for the horizontal, we'll be using cos, while the vertical, we'll be using sine. So we say T1 sine, how many degrees? 30 degrees, remember. Plus T2 sine now, how many degrees? 60 degrees. All should be equal to 600 Newton. On this note, remember, we already have T1, and T1 number is 0.577. T2, so we take it and place it here. So T1 number is parenthesis 0.577 T2. And we'll have sine 30 degrees. So sine 30 degrees will be 0.5 plus we have T2. Remember T2 here, and sine 60 degrees will be 0.866. All should be equal to 600 Newton. Newton was introduced by Isaac Newton because he introduced the Newton laws of motion. However, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be multiplying this value here by this in order to get our answer. So 0.577 T2 times 0.5 will just give us 0.2885. In other, people may say 0.289, but we'll be using the exact value 0.2885 in order to solve our problem. So multiply this and this will have this value. What we'll have here will say plus. T2 times this, T2 times 0.866 is 0.866 T2. Will just be equal to 600 Newton. So on this note, we will add this today, but remember, this time they give us this, but we'll have T2, so T2 is also here to be placed here. So 0.577 5. But T2 is here, we'll bring T2 down. But we'll have here plus. T2 times this will have this 0.866 T2 will be equal to 600 Newton. So what do? We'll add this and this together. Remember, T2 and T2 are the same, so we'll take 1. So 0.2885 T2 plus 0.866 T2, what do we have? We have 1.1545 T2 will just be equal to 600 Newton. What do? We divide both sides by the number that is placed near T2 in order to get our answer. And what is the number? 1.1545. So we draw our line again, say 1.1545 and 1.1545. So this and this will cancel. We'll have with T2, and T2 will be equal. We'll divide this by this. Automatically we get 519.70 Newton. But in how much? T2 will be equal to 519.70 Newton, but it can still be, when we run it up, T2 can still be equal to, say, 520 Newton. However, ladies and gentlemen, we already have T2 number. We'll be using it in order to multiply by the number of T1 in order to get our exact value for T1. In how much? We say, finally, T1 will be equal to 0.577 T2. Remember, we'll have T2 will be multiplied 0.577 times T2. What is T2 number? Is 520. So 520 Newton. So T1 will be equal to, we'll multiply this and this. When we multiply this and this, automatically we get 300.04 Newton. Or T1 can be 300 Newton. So ladies and gentlemen, we already have T1 number. So T1 answer is equal to 300 Newton, while T2 answer is equal to 520 Newton. So this is tension 1, this is tension 2. So when we're talking about the tensions in the cables, and these tensions in the cable are T1 is 300 Newton and T2 is 520 Newton. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me on this journey. Keep practicing, keep pushing limits, stay curious, and let us cross those difficulties. Don't forget to like, share, stay tuned, and subscribe. Comment in the comment section. Once again, I people must say Jimmy, popularly or commonly known as Chachi, the all-time record breaker. Thank you.